I'm calling all millennials. If you're a millennial, you need to be watching this video, man, because it's for you. This is for you. My brother, this is for you. So, what's up, everybody? My name is Torrance Green, and I'm back at y'all with a whole nother video, man. And today, I'm gonna be giving you about 5 tips. It may be a little more, just depending on how I'm feeling when I'm in the groove, you know. 5 tips that you won't learn in school. So, yeah, let's get right into it, man. Tip number 1, that's the budget, man. I think this is probably one of the most important things because it's very essential. Life happens, and it happens to everyone. The only thing is, don't nobody know when it's gonna happen to them. Everybody thinks just cause life ain't happened to me yet, or I see that it happened to them, your day is coming, you know what I'm saying? So it's best that you budget while you don't have any catastrophes going on, so that when that day does come, when you might need some extra bread, some extra dough, some extra money, you can go right to it and you ain't really got to struggle for it. So how you budget? Okay, you say, I make this much money every week or every other week. I make this much money right here. My bills are this, 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 and this. They cost this much, you add them up. Okay, now I can pay all my bills from this date to this date with this first check. If you get paid every other week, and then with my next check, I can pay the bills from this date to this date. Now, once you have that figured out, then you can figure out how much you can pay yourself. Because you got to pay yourself, you got to save some money. It's a major part of budgeting. God said, give to Caesar what's his and give to God what's his. So the first thing you should do when you do get paid is take your 10% off for God. I mean, Uncle Sam already getting his 20%. So God is the next. And then after God gets his, then you can pay yourself because that's already worked into your budget. You've already written it down. And you know how much you can pay yourself and still take care of everything else, you know what I'm saying? So tip number 2 is don't acquire more debt. Whether you just graduated college or you like me, maybe you quit school, or maybe you never went at all. Just don't acquire debt. It's not fun paying back, period, point blank. The student loan crisis in America is just outrageous, it's crazy. We've been paying those things for years, and it seems like, man, I pay this money on this student loan, man, and it seems like it ain't going nowhere. I'm talking about that junk just stay in your face. There are ways to build credit without getting into debt. There are ways to build credit without getting into debt. One way is like a credit card. See, a credit card is meant to be used. You don't let it use you. Because if you let it use you, you're screwed. You know what I'm saying? You need to learn how to use a credit card. So say you want to build your credit, but you don't have student loan debt or any debt. Okay, but you got bills. You know what I'm saying? You got your gas bill, and you got your food bill, you got your rent bill, whatever bill you got. Okay, you can go get a secured credit card because, you know, we young grasshoppers. And so they ain't gonna give us nothing unsecured. So you can probably put like a $200 limit on the card and use the card for gas and groceries. That's it. And this is money that you already gonna be spending. So you're not losing nothing. You just pay it back when they send you your bill, so you don't have no interest. It's a win-win. I bought a bed on credit, man. I bought a bed on credit. And I was moving into my apartment. It was 1 week before I actually moved in. So I'm like, bro, I need a bed. I ain't sleeping on the floor. I went to different places to try and get me a bed. People ran my credit. A lot of them turned me down except one. And so I went and I got the bed. And I should have paid it off in 90 days, which I could have, but I just didn't. Just being foolish with my spending. I wasn't budgeting at the time. So every time it comes out, it's just like, bro, I could have bought me an air mattress and saved my money and went and bought the bed. Because I believe it's better to pay cash for things than to go buy it on credit. Because if you gotta buy it on credit, you can't afford it. And you just digging yourself a deep hole to get out of. Not that it's impossible to get out of it, but why have to go through all of that when it can be avoided? But anyway, yeah, I bought the bed. I was so happy, I was pumped up when the bed got here. They delivered it, they put it up, and I'm like, yeah. I got me a bed. I got me a bed. About 5 minutes later, I was like, man, I got me a bed. You know, I got a bed. I'm looking at the bed. The bed ain't doing nothing. You know, it's just sitting there chilling. It's just a bed. I'm like, I got me a bed, man. I got me a bed. Sat on the bed. I got me a bed, man. I got me a bed, man. That's it. That's all I had was a bed. And I felt like I needed that bed so much, but when I got the bed, I was like, oh, man, I could have waited and saved for this. I didn't have to pay all this money for this bed. It's not really worth it. It's just a bed. Not that I'm not grateful. I just want to be the wisest steward over what God has given me. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So when you know better, you do better. You know what I'm saying? And when you look good, you do good. When you feel good, you do better. I don't know if that's how that goes, but you feel what I'm saying. Tip number 3 for millennials. Please listen to this one. Listen to this one. Do not feel entitled. Man, the world looks at us like we're young grasshoppers, like literally. A lot of people do. But they don't realize that they were once the same age as us. They once had no experience just like us. And the job that they had, somebody had it before them. So it's just like a cycle. They're on their way out, we're on our way in. It's just, that's life. It just goes in. So a lot of people just don't want to give us a chance. Maybe because we do feel entitled to a lot of things. We don't want to work. Some of us just want a handout. We just want it. Maybe because we feel like we done just did these 4 years of school, so you feel like, man, these folks owe me, man. I got all this debt, man, and I done been in class for 4 to 8 years, 2, 4, 8 years, however long you went to college. I done been here. You know, I done put in some time, man, and these people need to pay me. They got to pay me. Oh man, that ain't the way to go. Because people are not gonna give you anything in this world. And showing signs of entitlement can really ruin your chances of promotion, of getting even more. You know, because people already don't want to help out as it is. So that just adds on more fuel to the fire. You walking around and I'm like, yeah, I'm the man. I'm the woman. Pay me. They gonna run you about that junk, man. So be humble and be patient. And don't walk around feeling like the world owes you, because I promise you, it don't. Life is a rare and precious gift from God. And everyone walking this planet is only here because of God's grace and his mercy. So don't act like that. Don't walk around feeling like, you know, you just got it. You just walking around with a little funk about you, thinking that these people gonna give you something. Because people in the world, let me tell you, they will tell you the hard truth about you, and they will be very rude doing it, and they have no remorse. They don't care about your feelings. They don't love you. Don't nobody love you more than your mama and your daddy. Just putting that out there. Tip number 5, and I think this is the last tip. Trust God and trust the process. Trust God and trust the process. Understand that a lot of things in this life, they will not go your way. But that doesn't mean you're not on the right track. That doesn't mean you're in the wrong place. That doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Don't look at another man's plate wishing you can eat the same thing he's eating. Nah, because this is how I look at life. Life is very, very simple. Everyone knows how life starts off. And if you don't, you can go Google that. Everyone knows how life starts off. It's very, very simple. But it turns into something complex. Once you start going in life, you just building, you just building, you just building, you just building. Experience, experience, experience. Everything is just coming together. And then before long, 5, 10, 15, 20 years later, you got a whole bunch of experience under your belt. You got a whole lot of skill. Over time, it just builds up. It just builds up. Something simple turns into something complex. And it just keeps going, and it just keeps going, and you just keep evolving. You just keep getting greater, and it don't stop unless you stop. The only person that can stop you is you. So don't quit. Don't look at another man and be like, man, I wish I was there, or I'll never be there, man. Because one, everybody has their own unique purpose in this world. Everybody got their own unique specialty that God has planted inside of them, okay? And his specialty is not your specialty. Can't nobody do what God has planted inside of you like you. Everyone has their own purpose. That's the place God, the gardener, has planted them. And he's planted you in a place that is your own. So run your race. And the only person you need to be worried about beating is yourself. Run your race and seek God. And when you seek God and he answers you, man, simply move on what he's put in your heart, man. Because I promise, obeying God will take you a lot further than doing your own thing in this life. Y'all have a blessed day. I'm out.